What's up, everybody? Miguel Cruz here with MCKO Boxing. Obviously, I'm not at the gym right now, but I made this video with urgency. We need to talk about the state of amateur boxing today in the United States. There is a big issue, really big issue that a lot of boxing gym owners like myself and boxing coaches and fighters are having with USA Boxing. And I believe USA Boxing is neglecting the demands of the people. Okay, this is business, all right? Business is what? Supply and demand. So you got to meet the demands of the people to have a good business. So I just believe this is just a not good business decision from USA Boxing. And I believe that by shedding light on this problem, that we can find the solution. Okay, this is boxing. Boxing is a sport that brings people together. So my intention with this video is not to bash, not to slander, not to say anything bad about USA Boxing, but to identify a problem so that together, y'all, we can find a solution and we can make boxing better. So I pray that you hear my heart when I speak about these issues, that you don't see me as somebody that's coming off hateful or arrogant. I'm truly just identifying a problem that we're having, not just me, a lot of boxing coaches. This is a big issue. And I believe that USA Boxing is not paying attention to these issues. And I believe in the long run, USA Boxing is the one that's going to get hurt. Because what's going to end up happening is these other organizations are going to rise. And I don't want to see USA Boxing fall. So that's why I'm making this video. Okay, so USA Boxing, they sent an email to all of their members basically saying that if their members participate in kickboxing, MMA, or other sanctioned events, that they can't participate in USA Boxing events. And like I said, guys, USA Boxing is the governing body of amateur boxing. Like, you got to go through USA Boxing if you want to do anything in the sport of boxing. I mean, if you want to just skip the amateur boxing and go straight to the pros, you can actually do that. There's been a lot of successful pro boxers to do that. But is it wise to do that? No. Like, you want to get some amateur experience. You want to get inside the ring. You want to go through USA Boxing to get the full experience of amateur boxing, okay? But USA Boxing is putting a lot of resistance on boxing gym owners like myself. And let me just highlight something real quick. If USA Boxing was a little bit more lenient, like how they were in the past, then this would be, USA Boxing would have so much more revenue that they can tap into. But boxing gym owners like myself, let's say I want to register 10 boxers from my gym. That 10 times $200, which is roughly what it costs to become a member at USA Boxing per year, 10 times 200, that's $2,000 that USA Boxing is missing out on my gym alone. On top of that, man, I'm connected with a lot of gyms that are facing the same problem. And what they have done is they just stopped renewing their memberships with USA Boxing because USA Boxing is putting so much resistance. You know, like, I don't know if you know the story about what happened with Kmart, but Kmart was at the top of the top for a while. But there was a lot of demands that the people were saying that they were demanding, and Kmart was like, nah, we're going to keep doing things the way that we're doing things. And then the demands of the people kept increasing, and Kmart didn't do anything about it, right? So then what ended up happening was their competitors like Walmart and Target and Publix, they came out of nowhere meeting the demands of the people and then blew Kmart out of the water. You don't hear about Kmart anymore. This is a real story. Okay, I didn't make that up. Look at what happened with Kmart. So there is a real issue that the people are demanding, and USA Boxing, please do not be Kmart. Listen to what your people are saying. Listen to your boxing gym owners. Listen to the boxing coaches and listen to the fighters. Fighters want to participate in MMA events, in these sparring exhibitions to help their gym grow. Do you guys realize how important these sparring exhibitions are to local boxing gyms? It is hard to thrive as a boxing gym owner. Boxing is not as broad of a sport as the other sports. A lot of people want to play basketball, but there's not a lot of people willing to box. Okay, when people get punched in the face and they don't like it, they're going to quit. They're not going to come back to the boxing gym. Okay, so boxing is like, it's a very niche thing. And so we put together these events to pay our bills. So now USA Boxing is saying that we can't throw a sparring exhibition for the entertainment of the people and the experience of the fighters. USA Boxing has a problem with that. Like, That's a real issue for a boxing gym owner like myself. What that's going to make me do is that's just not going to make me renew my membership with you guys. I'm going to encourage my fighters, you know what? We can do it without USA Boxing. Because there's plenty of organizations, the competitors of USA Boxing that are rising up. So now we're in an age where we kind of don't really need USA Boxing, even though they are the governing body of amateur boxing. So I say all of this to say, man, I love USA Boxing. I participated as an open fighter in USA Boxing, but I also obtained the featherweight ISKA Florida State title. And so that was me double dipping. I was an amateur boxer with USA Boxing, but I was also an ISKA Florida State featherweight champion. So I was doing two different organizations, and back then there was no problem. But today suddenly there's a problem. So what it's doing is it's driving a wedge between the gym owners and USA Boxing. The fight game is bigger than boxing, okay? So if a fighter, let's say an MMA fighter wants to work on their boxing, now that MMA fighter is forced to stop participating in MMA fights and kickboxing fights and other combat sports just because USA Boxing has this strict rule. And then they say it's for the safety. I don't think it's for the safety, y'all. It's hard to believe that because it really seems as like they're trying to be exclusive and they don't want other organizations to rise up. Like they're trying to have a chokehold on this fight game, and I just don't think that it's really wise in my opinion. Because if USA Boxing were to open the doors to the entire fight world, like the MMA community, the kickboxing community, the bare knuckle community, and the fight game is growing. There's all these new sports such as bare knuckle and dirty boxing. If they were just to open up their doors and be a little bit more lenient, I think that boxing gym owners like myself would actually will bring a lot more participants to their events. Another huge problem is that we go to these USA Boxing events and then our fighters don't get matched up. So that's why we go look for other events, because we're tired of paying for a membership that we don't get to use. And it's not just me that's experiencing this. It's a lot of these boxing gym owners. They travel hours for an event and then they are frustrated because they're paying for a subscription to your guys' organization and then they don't get to use it. So that's why they go look for other opportunities when they arise. And now USA Boxing is like, oh yeah, you guys can't participate in those organizations if you want to be a part of us. Like, it really hurts the gym owners. So guys, I say all of this to say, USA Boxing, let's do better. Pay attention to the frustrations and the hurts and the demands of the people. Let's try to be more inclusive. Let's try to be a little bit more lenient, because if you do, you would see a lot more revenue. People like myself would sign their boxers up to be USA Boxing members. People like, there's gyms that I was talking to in Vero Beach. I'm not going to name their names, but there's gyms that I was talking to in Ocala. There's gyms that I was talking to in Tampa Bay. There's a lot. I'm in Florida, by the way. There's a lot of gym owners that are literally choosing to not renew their subscriptions with USA Boxing due to this. So USA Boxing may think that this is a smart move, but it's not a smart move in my opinion, okay? Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think and how we can make amateur boxing in the USA better, okay? Let's go.